talk more later. I'll leave you two alone so you can have a nice little visit.
I can't stay. I have an appointment with Dr. Samuels.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, just routine. But don't worry, I would let you know if there was something wrong.
Sierra, can't we just try and be friends?
Tony, I don't think that's possible because I don't think I'll ever be able to trust you again. Not after what you did to Steve.
But I didn't. You just don't believe me.
No.
This isn't easy for me to say, Sierra. I need you in my life. I'll accept whatever small part of you that you can give.
Please don't do this.
Just hear me out. My life is empty. I leave here at night. I go home to the executive suite by myself. I sit there. I think about you. I have my sessions with Dr. Michaels. We talk about you. I understand that it was my fault for the breakup of our marriage, my jealousy of Craig, all of that. I understand that, but what good is understanding it if you won't give me another chance to make up for my mistakes?
I can't. But Tony, I think it's wonderful that you're learning and that you're changing. I think that someday you'll be able to be really happy with a woman. But Tonio, that woman is not going to be me. And let's not talk about this anymore, okay? Because the most important thing in my life right now is having a healthy baby. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it all alone.
Hi, Mama. Where's Casey? Well, sometimes we do take separate breaks. Come on, sit down, join me.
Well, I only have a few seconds. I've got to find John.
Have you tried Bob's office?
Yeah, I just came from there, but Janet said that he dashed out of there 20 minutes ago and hasn't answered his page since.
Yeah, I would like to know what's bothering John. I've never seen him so jumpy. You know, I brought down some messages for him from Howard Lansing, and he just about bit my hat off. What's the matter? You look worried.
I am. Very worried.
Lucinda?
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by Tartar Control Crest, original flavor and now in a new fresh mint gel, and by Dawn, the dishwashing liquid that takes the grease out of your way. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Well, I'm sorry, Lucinda. Howard isn't here anymore.
Well, what are you doing here?
Boy, this is some dump that you own.
If he isn't here, where is he, John? I know he's got something on you. What did you do to him? Did you push him out the window?
Why don't you check it out?
Now, John, I had a telephone conversation with Mr. Lansing, and he told me many things from the past when he was the manager at the hospital, and you were young and up to no good, and he paid his debt, he told me, to society. He went to prison.
Yeah. Did he tell you anything else?
Further information is going to come to me in person.
Oh! Well, it looks like you're out of luck, because he's flown the coop. You're going to have to fire Stenbeck.
Over my dead body, John.
When does Lily get out of school?
Don't go near Lily. Just think, whatever it is that you're so afraid of Lansing, it's going to be right there. Right on the front page of the City Times. Reflect on that, John.
Don't be
so worried about John? You know, why don't you worry about yourself for a change? Hmm?
I don't need to worry about myself. I'm doing just fine, Mama.
No, you're not. Have you and Tom thought about taking some of the pressure off of yourselves? Are you looking into adoption?
Tom wants his own baby. So do I. We're going to wait.
Yeah, I know. But what happens after maybe 2 years or something, and not everything's going according to schedule?
Mama, I got to find John.
Is that why you want Tom to go to Washington? Because you can't face this?
Mama, Tom and I are two very active people with full lives and demanding jobs. What do you expect us to do? Sit at home and stare at each other and try and figure out why we can't have what we want?
Running away from each other is not going to solve the problem. Margot, please, come on.
But Margot. 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 Oh, hi, Meg. Great news about your brother, huh?
Holden?
No, about Seth.
What?
He and Franny are engaged.
You're kidding. That's wonderful.
You mean to say you didn't know about that?
Well, I'm living with Lila now. I don't hear a lot about my family.
I see. Well, it seems to me your mother would certainly call you up and tell you something like that.
Well, she's been going through her own problems right now.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope nothing serious.
Well, she and Dr. Dixon broke up.
Oh, dear, I'm really sorry to hear about that. What happened?
Well, it seems that Dr. Dixon's been lying to Mom about something for months. And,
Good Lord, isn't that just like Dr. D? Excuse me, darling. I think Lila's over here. I want to speak to her. Lila, yeah. Look, I just ran into Margot a minute ago, and she seemed, well, I don't know. She didn't even speak to me or anything.
Yeah, well, it's the same old thing. I tried to talk to her, but she's just not ready to hear what I have to say.
I had the same trouble with Tom. I could just shake both of them.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, I hope for your sake you're not planning on eating here.
No, I actually had an appointment with the doctor. We're trying to figure out why in the world do I put my big foot in my big mouth all the time. I mean, like a little while ago when Casey was here, I happened to mention about little Franny getting engaged. Oh, poor Casey.
Oh, well, I wouldn't worry about poor little Casey.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you say that because I'm sure you know him better than almost anyone. I mean, I know you're such good friends and all.
Yes, we are good friends. And, actually, we're more than good friends.
Hey, wait. You mean... Yeah, that's fabulous. You think so? Hey, you and old Casey.
You see, not everybody knows about this. And some of the people that do know about it, well, they're a little shocked.
They are. Like who?
Like Craig and like John.
Oh, Johnny Dixon doesn't matter. And Craig's your son. I mean, what do you expect? Children don't expect their mothers to have a life of their own. You ought to know that.
That's true.
Hello, is this a closed conversation or can anybody join us?
Hot stuff. We were just... Well, excuse me, boy, you got good taste. Keep up the good work, old bean.
What was that all about?
Well, I told her about us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, look, I gotta get back to work.
All right, I'll walk you out.
Hey, Maggie.
Hi, Meg.
Hey, have her come make dinner tonight, something special. Well, actually, I've got 2 sets of the Mona Lisa tonight. Well, what about you?
Well, I'm going to watch 2 sets at the Mona Lisa. Thanks anyway, okay?
Hi, Meg. Oh, hi. You look great. No one would ever know you were pregnant. Well, I definitely am. Are you busy? I have a few minutes before I have to see Dr. Samuels. Sure. Sure,
Okay.
sit down. Great. I was just studying for a class. Nutrition. It's too gross. I don't know. But I got to use the textbook that Dusty gave me for Christmas. I mean, it's really wonderful, isn't it? I mean, it's I'm not talking too much. I mean, isn't it great? One day I'm going to be a nurse, you're going to be a doctor, and a mother. What a full schedule. I know. I don't even have time to think about it. I'm still in classes, but I'll have to stop until I have a child, and then I'll go back.
This takes incredible amount of courage, I think, to decide to have a baby on your own.
Sometimes it's not really courage. It's when one has no other choice.
Well, how does your husband feel about that?
Meg, I don't mean to be rude, but I'd really rather not talk to him.
I'm sorry, of course. I'm sorry. Gosh.
Oh. That is beautiful. Where'd you get that?
Fashions.
Boy, it's really beautiful. I've been looking for something just like it. Oh.
Of course.
Don't you realize how much you've changed now that James has returned? I know you're concerned about Paul, but it's more than that, lassie. When you're with me, in my arms, even in my bed, James is there between us.
Come in. What are you doing here?
Barbara, Lucinda has found out about our affair. She hired a detective and was on to us. I'm sorry. Look, she may come to you next.
Oh, Tonio, she came to me months ago. I told her that you were the biggest mistake of my life.
Why didn't you tell me?
Why should I?
You at least owe me the courtesy of telling me something like that.
Nothing. Now, please leave.
That does it, lady.
I'll tell you something. I'll give you a piece of advice, just for old time's sake, Tonio. Lucinda's wise to you. So if you plan on inheriting the kingdom, I suggest you stay married to Sierra, well, just at least long enough until Lucinda's first grandchild is born.
Mind interrupting you something?
Mr. Reyes was just leaving.
Did you come here to buy another watch for your wife?
I was settling my account.
Oh, you don't trust the mail service? Or maybe that wasn't the account you were speaking of.
What was that supposed to mean?
I'm sure you're going to Paul's swim meet. It would mean a lot to him, Barbara, if we went together.
Look, James, you can use emotional blackmail on Emily, okay? That doesn't work on me anymore. Not anymore.
It's just because Duncan's so far away in Edinburgh. Don't take your frustrations out on me.
James.
Why did he make this sudden trip? Could it be to hide the ruckle he stole from Emily?
Duncan didn't steal the ruckle. And, you know, I'm just real curious to find out why she didn't report this theft to the police.
Well, that answer's very simple. She's embarrassed about her past relationship with Hensley Taggart.
Oh, yes, she's embarrassed, but not about Hensley. She's embarrassed about you. Poor girl. You're old enough to be her father, and all she hears about you from her family, just negative things. She's far too embarrassed to let them know that she was so ignorant.
I'm going to be late for Paul's swim meet.
Well, she can't hide you much longer, James. You see, Ellen reported the break-in to Margot. Of course, Ellen doesn't know about the ruckle, so she couldn't report that part to Margot, but Betsy knows.
How does Betsy know?
I told her.
That's all you got? All right, I'll call you if we got anything else. Chicago PD. Turns out the only prints on that ruckle belong to the rare coin dealer.
John disappeared from the hospital. Nobody knows where he went.
Lansing checked out of the Stratford Arms an hour ago. No forwarding address.
Oh, swell. So much for getting Lansing to tell us who he talked to about Jarvis.
Look, it can't be John. I told you, John was with me at 8 o'clock last night. Whoever sold Jarvis that coin had to be in Chicago by 8:30. Now, who would use his name?
There's got to be some connection.
Look, John may be guilty of a lot of things, but prostitution and drugs is not one of them. John has nothing to do with the Falcon case. I will stake my badge on it.
John isn't the only one who's conveniently disappeared. Interesting. Every time something breaks in this case, McKechnie is far, far away. Wonder what his urgent business is in Edinburgh. McKechnie, hold on. I'll be with you in a minute.
Business?
Well, perhaps you were thinking it was one of my Highland paramours. Help yourselves to the sherry.
I wonder. Don't you dare.
Didn't you see that look in Duncan's eyes? Whenever he's hiding something, his eyes always crinkle up and twinkle. Fascinating.
Tell me something, Shannon. Why are we still in this gloomy city?
Oh, to have fun. To get back to my old lifestyle. And to forget the last year and a half ever happened.
Can't forget Brian as easily as that.
Oh?
The sadness in your eyes breaks my heart.
So I'm sad sometimes. That's what we're here for, to change all that.
Change it to what?
To excitement and adventure, and with no schedules and no deadlines, I want to be as free as a bird, just like I used to be.
But you're not the same little bird who lived a wild gypsy existence over here with your Uncle Earl. You met a man, you fell in love with him, you clipped your wings so you could settle down and marry him. You've changed.
So I'll change back.
Are you so sure you want to? Why are we still in Edinburgh?
What on earth are you talking about?
Well, think about that, Shannon. Think about that before you get involved with a man who's the direct opposite of everything that Brian is, including that secret part that you're so fascinated by. While you're thinking about that, I'll go freshen up.
Dangerous it may be, Pearson, but I've got to see this through to the end. Whatever it brings, I'll be in touch.
I hope you don't mind us stopping in like this. You're lucky to have found me at home. Shame to make a trip all the way out here for nothing, Dr. Hughes.
Well, I know how busy you are, so I'll get right to the point. Have you had a chance to go through your aunt's belongings as yet?
And did you find out anything about Sabrina?
I said I would contact you if and when I found something.
Well, the caretaker at your aunt's cottage said that when you came out to get the cartons of her belongings, you seemed very anxious to go through them.
Well, other matters concerning my aunt's estate have been occupying my time almost exclusively. A very secretive woman, Aunt Mona. The Banbury Bank has informed me, as the only heir, of a savings account which he opened with them 19 years ago. It's never been touched.
Probably for her retirement.
Her retirement? £50,000? Quite a tidy sum for an Annie to put aside, wouldn't you say?
Oh, you can stay for a few minutes. Only a very few minutes. I have piles of work to do. Okay, well, let me just check. Let's see if Dad and Seth are back from Peter Morrison's. I'll be right back, okay?
Is this Peter Marsden?
Yes? Who is this?
Jocelyn Higgins. I'd like to talk to you about Franny Hughes.
Hi.
Say, what's this all about, then?
We just want you to help us.
About what?
Falcon case.
I have no connection with the Falcon case.
Oh, we're not saying that you do, Dr. Dixon. We just need to ask you a couple of routine questions like, where were you at 8:30 last night?
This is dumb. I was out with my daughter, the cop, last night.
They just want you to answer for routine, that's all.
This is stupid.
Have you ever heard of a man named Charles Jarvis?
Never, no.
Think carefully, Dr. Dixon. He is a rare coin dealer on Michigan Avenue in Chicago.
I don't have to think. What would I be doing with a rare coin dealer in Chicago?
Somebody made an appointment with Mr. Jarvis at 8:30 last night and sold him a very rare coin.
A coin that could be connected with the Falcon case.
Believe me, the coin is not connected with me.
The man who sold the coin to Mr. Jarvis said that his name was Dr. John Dixon, and he gave your address and phone number.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the man who called himself Dr. John Dixon told Jarvis that he'd been recommended by a Howard Lansing. That ring any bells?
Come on, Howard, don't play games with me.
Nothing's going to explode. Just have to make an old lie into the truth. Better late than never. Be in touch when it's over.
Lord, how am I going to stop him?
This is Captain Michael Faraday. Welcome aboard Virgin Atlantic Airlines Flight number 2. It's non-stop from New York to London. For those of you who would like to set your watches for London time, it's 7:05 p.m. Enjoy your flight. We're glad you chose Virgin Atlantic.
Your water, sir?
Oh, thanks. I have to take a pill.
Now that we're airborne, would you like a drink?
Yes. Martini, double, very dry with a twist.
Stay tuned for Capital, next on most of these CBS stations. By Christie Brothers. Jewelry by Yves Saint Laurent. This is Dan Regin, inviting you to join us again Monday for As the World Turns.